I think that government research of all types in the medical...
Including a birthing people?
I think bench research of all types plays a fundamental
What is a
role.
birthing person?
Sir, I am here to talk about the Doge impact.
Well, I'm
for
asking
working
you about this
families.
grant and you're defending it. So I'm asking you, who is birthing people?
Why are they even responsible for anything in our government system if they're too stupid to even acknowledge what a woman is? It bothers me, man. It baffles me that these people are in charge of certain things and advocating for certain spending from taxpayer dollar, and they can't even answer a simple question of what is a woman or what is a birthing person. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you this product real quick. We have an incredible deal going on with the Spice and Tea Exchange in Prescott, Arizona. Obviously, we carry it on our store in a partnership. But this is what I want you to do. Y'all tow this up from the flow up, getting this bourbon bundle. We only have, I think he said 7 left or 5 left. No, 4 left. I think we only have 4 of these bourbon bundles left, which is the one you see on the screen right there that has the bourbon right in the middle. Now, I have this one, which is right next to it, which is the salt bundle. It's bacon smoked sea salt. You got the kahuna, which is a garlic salt, and then you got the hickory smoked sea salt. I'm telling you right now, these salts are insane. I literally put the bacon sea salt on my eggs, and then I put the hickory smoked salt on my steak when I cook it, and we put the garlic salt on everything we eat. So get you some today. All you gotta do is go and click on there and support a good company, man. Patriots own the company, a great guy. And so go ahead and support them today. Get you some of this bundle, the best stuff you're gonna find on the market, period. Like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share this video. That really helps the video get some momentum. So if you're looking at it, you like it, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you're not subscribed already. If you love the content, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Gill. I knew he was a good man because his first name is Brandon, but he has literally gone on a rampage in a good way, just exposing these radical lunatic Democrats that are literally in these congressional hearings saying the stupidest stuff that I've ever heard in my life. Now, he was getting on a guy who said something about DEI and wrote a paper, and these guys are just contradicting themselves. Really the one I want to play, maybe we'll play it and we'll find a clip and play it for you. But it was one where this girl was talking about birthing persons. Is this the birthing person one? So the one about birthing persons is the most insane one I've seen. He had a dude talking about DEI that he just completely destroyed. But this birthing person one, it just tells you, y'all, you should be able to unequivocally answer a simple question when your stance is what her stance is.
Thank you for coming here. In your testimony, you said that Americans deserve a government that works for them, a government that makes their lives easier and more secure. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Great. I'd like to read through a couple of the grants that Doge has pulled back, and I'd like to get your take on them. They pulled back a $1.5 million NIH grant to Morehouse College. It was called the Center to Advance Reproductive Justice and Behavioral Health among Black, pregnant / postpartum women and birthing people. Do you think that makes Americans' lives easier and more secure?
I think that medical and scientific research of all types...
Do you think that constitutes critical research? According to your testimony, NIH grants are critical research.
I think that government research of all types in the medical...
Including a birthing people?
I think bench research of all types plays a fundamental
role. What is a
role.
birthing person?
Sir, I am here to talk about the Doge impact.
Well, I'm asking you about
families.
this grant and you're defending it. So I'm asking you, who is birthing people?
I am not familiar with this grant.
Mm-hmm.
I take a position that all kinds of government research...
Just answer the
medical,
question.
Is a
pharmaceutical,
birthing person a woman? Is that another
biological,
word for female?
That is outside the scope of my expertise.
Seems like erasure language to me. I've been told that type of vernacular constitutes erasure language. How about another one? How about the...
Hold on. I can't get past the birthing person one. Birthing persons. You don't have to be a scientist or anybody to say only person that can birth is a woman. But these cowards and these weirdos that, why are they even responsible for anything in our government system if they're too stupid to even acknowledge what a woman is? It bothers me, man. It baffles me that these people are in charge of certain things and advocating for certain spending from taxpayer dollar, and they can't even answer a simple question of what is a woman or what is a birthing person. I feel like if I was being genuine about all of the things that I say, I should be able to get on there and say, people consider that to be this. Or in this case, what's a birthing person? It's a female, a woman. What is a woman? A person who reproduces. I mean, with certain chromosomes, XX chromosomes. I think women have XX. What is a woman? Reproductive organs. You can go down the list and name it. A person with this genitalia, whatever you want to say. It should be very simple, easy. It's not a trick question. But when you're a coward, it is. Roll the clip. Got 20 seconds.
Conference, Gender Equity in the Mathematical Study of Commutative Algebra. Do you think that that's a valid form of government spending?
I think mathematical research of all types is deserving of government.
What about
investment.
studying, and this is directly from the National Science Foundation's website, women and non-binary mathematicians?
Again, I think all kinds of government investment should be dedicated toward mathematical.
All kinds of government investment.
scientific.
You don't have any kind of limit on what we're spending our money on? Just everything? Is that your testimony?
I am talking about Doge. You brought up.
So am I. This is a grant that Doge cut.
I am not familiar with this particular grant, but I think government investment in mathematical, biological.
Okay. Let's do another one. This one is called hashtag Transcendent Health, adapting an LGB plus inclusive teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys. I can't even say this without laughing. Do you think that is a useful form of our tax spend?
I am not familiar with that grant, but I think bench research, government investment in scientific and pharmaceutical
Teen pregnancy
research.
for transgender boys. Do you think that is a useful spend of our tax dollars?
I think government investment in all kinds of
Time
scientific
out.
research.
Why can't you just answer the question? Why can't you have a thought? Why are you even at a hearing representing anything and you don't have any independent thought? You come there and say, I believe that all medical research, you obviously don't, or you stupid, one of the two. What makes a human being listen to that and go, yeah, you could be for medical research and the NIH stuff or whatever funding, and you could think Doge is wrong. You could think all those things. And then when they come to you and say something like that, you say, it seems to be very bizarre. I don't agree with something as obscure as that. I think it needs to be more clear. What you're describing to me, I'm not familiar with it, but if what you described to me is true, it seems a little bizarre for money to be going in a direction like that, because it does not seem to be reasonable according to things that I've already known or things that seem to be, privy on behalf of the American people. It's like if I was in a hearing and somebody says something negative about Republicans, if it's right, then I just got to say, yeah, that's stupid. Donald Trump did this. Do you agree with that? No, I don't. I don't agree with that. I don't have to lie. Finish it.
Is of the utmost importance.
Including pregnancy prevention for transgender boys. Okay. Let me ask you, we can come back to this later maybe. Do you support abolishing the filibuster still?
I am here to talk about Doge respectfully.
Right.
and-
We could abolish the filibuster and get a lot of Doge cuts through. And you've written at length on your Twitter about abolishing the filibuster. I'm just curious if you think that we should do that still.
I did a lot of previous work on different topics because I am an economic policy expert, and respectfully, I'm here to talk about Doge cuts.
Okay, but we could abolish the filibuster and get Doge cuts. This is totally germane here. Do you think we should?
I am here to talk about Doge cuts, not strategies for achieving more of them, but the harms that they have produced for working families.
That's a convenient change of opinion. I noticed that most of your comments about the filibuster were during the Biden administration. But we can move on. Let's go back to some more of these
He
grants.
whooping her butt, boy.
Do you think that we should be spending money on, quote, the racialized basis of trait judgments from faces?
I am not at all familiar with that grant.
It's a $500,000 NSF grant.
Okay, I am not familiar with the subject matter or the
But you're
particular
but you're
grant.
defending these.
I am saying that I think the government
You're pretty
has-
adamant against Doge cuts, and I'm asking you if you support the cuts
I think that
that
there
Doge
is
has found.
economic and medical, public health, communal benefit to
What
the
about
government
cross-sex
investing
steroid therapy and cardiovascular risk in the transgender female?
Again, I think
God
government
damn.
investment in scientific research is
Right.
important.
Thank you for your testimony. I appreciate it.
The gentleman's time.
Well, they be back there using ChatGPT or something to come up with these grant names. The transgender studies of theology of brain science of facial expressions in Guam. You're like, what are y'all doing? If that mother freaking thing or that name is this long, then you don't need a grant for that. You need to have something very simple, research and this, and this. If your words and your research salad is that much salad on it, you doing too much. You doing way too much. That's all I had to say. I don't think I need to say nothing else. I think that's it. Y'all let me know if you want to see more of Brandon Gill and what you think about that. Isn't that funny? Like, I feel like if I went to a hearing, I could address two things at one time. I could say, well, I'm not here to talk about that, but I will give an opinion on this, and this, and this. Well, no, why are you asking me the question? Can you stop playing games and get to the question so I can get to why I'm supposed to be here? Since you want to go down this route. But I think that his questions were very appropriate, right? This person is defending or trying to criticize Doge's cuts to some of these programs. He lists programs that were cut, and she's not here to talk about them. These people are so stupid. I'll see y'all in the next one.